morning from Finland. It's Monday morning and I'm about to demo you a little bit what we have come up with my colleague Tero Ahonen in aims of putting fevermap corona infection tracking crowdsourcing application into OpenShift automation. The aim is to create automated build environment for such a software and also providing environment where to run it in case one would want to run production on top of OpenShift. This is not final version, but I'm just demoing what we have done so far. So let's go to OpenShift. OpenShift is a container platform with a lot of automation. It's based on Kubernetes. So I'll show you how one could install fevermap. You could either go here in the catalog, go for fever, instantiate template, give the parameters, it has some parameters, or for the sake of clarity, I'm just doing it from the command line here. I have a template that I'm running. I provide some parameters like URLs. Let's go back to the OpenShift project. You will see that this is my test OpenShift environment, which is only some virtual machines on a single host, so it's not the most powerful. But you can see that it immediately built this kind of application. It sets up a database, it sets up MariaDB, which has actually, let's see what it has. It has physical storage connected to it. In this case, we have 1 gig of storage in there. And now what it starts doing the next, it will start the build system for the containers. It will go and grab the fevermap software. It has so-called two-stage builds, or it depends actually. The front end has, okay, let's look at the topology of the application. There is database, there is API, and there is front end. Python image is, the API uses Python image, which just grabs the Python code, wraps it into container, and stores the API container for later use. That's the build process for API. For front end, it's a little bit more complicated. I'll show you how the front end builds. So first of all, we use Node.js. The source code in this repository, fevermap, at GitLab, for application is Node.js. And we use Node.js build. First we create a builder image for Node.js, which then grabs the code and drops it into this build image and starts building it. And at the end of it, whenever this application is built, it will upload the stuff into the next image. If we go and look project details, we have different kind of images here. We will have where do we see images in this? I'm a little bit new to this new interface. Let's look from the production environment or the OpenShift online. This is so we have images. So we have first of all the base image for building the stuff for Node.js. Then we will build the builder image from that, and then we drop only the output of Node.js static code, which it generates into the fevermap image, which is then Nginx image, only having that static code. After that, we don't care about these builder images. They could be trashed and rebuilt for the next time when the commit comes. But for the API, it's a little bit simpler. We just put this Python code into container and store it. Let's go back to this test environment. Oh, by the way, this is from the production system. This is a little bit older user interface. This is the OpenShift 3. So it looks like this. You can see that whatever images we put running, they are immediately monitored. You have monitoring for metrics for CPU, network, memory, such things, which can be then tracked for auto-scaling container images. We could scale up and down the images, for example, from here, but of course we want to control everything from Git. So let's see what my test environment is doing now. So now it has built this API image as well. It's currently building the Nginx image. You can see that I'm running 2 pods now for this, so 2 instances for the fevermap API. I could go and see the metrics in here. I could go the definition of these pods. This is the version control stuff. I could look at the environment variables. This is the ones that I gave in the parameters for the program. Then I could see if I was a developer interested in what's going on with the application, if there's problems, I would go into logs. This is the way how you get into the logs. If you have role-based access control in like set up correctly for your account, then all the actions done for this project you can see from events. Actually, in this case, related only to this pod. And if I wanted to get into that pod, I would actually see the code in here. I'm some random user for security measures. We never run as root. So let's see what's up to now. Now the application is actually up. And if for example, I could see the build logs from here if I so wished, I can see that, okay, blah, blah, blah. It has built everything and pushed it into OpenShift internal registry. By the way, yeah, okay, let's come back to that. I show from production environment, it's a step further. In OpenShift Online, it actually pushes all the images into this query registry, so that after any build, images are uploaded here, and this query registry actually does security scan for the images for the base operating system stuff. So it does not scan the Node.js or static code or the Python code, but it scans the libraries and everything. So we are at least a little bit safe there. Then, okay, so this is the application. I'll show you. If I wanted to get into this front page, here it is, the new one. I could go add entry, do something, select the stuff, click on these, be done with it. So this is how it behaves. That's the front. If I would want to go and check the API, okay, there is some error there. It's not configured correctly. If I go in here in the production environment, I go for the, where's the API? API here. I could go from here, the staging API. Ah, okay. The URL is not. Okay, I need to check what's wrong with that. It works, however, because the application works. For the demo effect, I don't remember how to get that ping pong thing out of there. Anyhow, this is how you set up this environment. The containers are running here. You can see all the details from the GUIs. For example, the routes, I could add SSL for this route. It's not defined in here because this is just a test environment. I don't want to have those invalid cert complaints. But in the production environment, if we go and I would see routes, for example, then we have actually the routes for SSL, and we have the SSL certificates in place. And it actually, so how this networking goes, we have this, we can define a URL which then terminates the SSL, which then forwards all the traffic to so-called service. So each of these pods have a service, like database service, API service, and front-end service in OpenShift, and the route will forward the traffic to service, which then will load balance these instances. Like here you can see I have two APIs running. It will load balance between those. If I wanted to have, oops, I restarted it. I was supposed to click the other one. Okay, now this simulates like I would have made a new version of this, but let's see that if I wanted to scale, for example, to 4 pods, if we have more traffic, this is all it takes. Now it starts adding 2 more pods. Like you can see here, it just creates new containers. 3 is up. Now we have more pods running. Actually, yeah, this is the way you would see all of them. So I have quite many of pods running now. And all right, so this is pretty much how the build process works, how the pods are laid out in here. If I wanted to go, for example, for debugging purposes into, say, see the database, I could see the database logs from here. I could go to terminal. Now I'm in MariaDB. Okay, I don't remember the MySQL command. I would need to look it from the environment. And for all this stuff, we actually have also, we can define self-healing things that we can, it checks that whether the pod is running or not. and if it's not running, then it would kick it back again. If the MariaDB would, for example, fail, Kubernetes notices it, would restart it, and we have persistent storage. It maps the storage to the pod, and we are back okay within a few seconds. Okay, let's see one more thing from the command line. I'm gonna show different thing. If we would go into production with this OC project fever prod. Now I'm here in the fever prod. OC get all, it should be empty. Let's move also from here to the fever prod. Fever prod from here. It's an empty project. Let's go to developer view. So you see it's empty. Let's do OC new app. This is the production one. So if I would go for production, I don't want to build anymore anything. I just want to run the existing containers. And this time I pull all the containers from Quay. I don't ever set up. So this is how much it would take to set up the production environment. It's up now. 2 pods running. Python pods running. I could scale them up. Let's say I want to have 4 of them. Nginx, let's see, also 4 of them. Giving a little bit more resources to the production. It could be all set in parameters, of course, but I'm just showing you how quickly this is set up. So this is how it would work using the images. Okay, I think this concludes pretty much the demo, what we have done during this weekend. Alright, thanks.